Going live. Okay. Hi, good morning, guys. This is Nikki, also known as Faces Trader, and you are watching the Awesome 10X Philippine Market Update. It's December 10, 2020, so let's begin. All right, so the index is currently 7,154 points, 51.77. You can see that the market is up. You've got some winners, you've also got some losers. So let's begin with the index. Let's start with the index first, just like we always do. Market value today is 7 billion pesos. You'll notice that is lower from the last couple of days where we were averaging at about 9 billion pesos. Your index is up, your all shares are up, financials are unchanged, your industrials are down, holdings are up, properties are up. Actually, only properties very, very strong, up 1.74%. Mining is down a bit, and then services are unchanged. So let's take a look at your index movers. Let's read the prices for you. Your Ayala land is now trading at 40 pesos. Your SM is 1,050. Ayala Corp is 840. SM Prime is 38.4. ICT is 123. BDO is 108. JG Summit is 68.55. AEB 45.95. PLDT 13.30. Aboitiz Power 27.35. FGen 28. San Miguel Corp 135. URC 148. DMC 6, Globe 2040, Emperador 10, Mega World 394, Robinson's Retail 66.7, Bloomberry 8.4, Pure Gold 42.45, RLC 19.7, Security Bank 136.8, Luciatan Group 13 pesos, AGI 10 pesos, MPI 430, Meralco 295, GT Cap 656, Metrobank 50 bucks, Jollibee 207, BPI 83. Okay, so giving you the rundown of those 30 names, which companies can you make money from? I guess the biggest bargain on that 30 set name is actually Robinson's Retail and Bloomberry. Robinson's Retail at 66.7 and Bloomberry at 8.4 presents a good risk-reward ratio. Let's go for your stats today. Okay, let's take a look at your analytics first. Okay, sorry, not analytics. Top traded. Top traded. All right, we are seeing AR up 30%, up 23%. From 0021. So we noticed that a couple of days ago, AR was going up, and then today it follows through. However, the problem with these companies is that it comes and goes. So it's not always there at the top traded, and it's not really expected to be sustainable. So value traded 380 million. You can see that these are considered your one-night stands, something like that. So it's a swing trade. It's not a long-term move. Dito Telcom still there, 7 pesos 17 cents. Your BDO is 108. Metrobank is steady, 50 bucks. Your asset is up 639, 630 to 639. Merrimart went up 5.9. APL managed to go up again 13%. Of course, there was that disclosure, as you well know, about the backdoor listing of APL for another mining venture. That's 13% up from 067 to 076. You could see that the market today is pretty much people are actually taking profits. It's not really a sell, but it's not really a buying opportunity for the markets. You can see that the market isn't that bullish. Take a look at the top gainers for the day. Top gainers for the day are not familiar names. Example, AR, APL. AR is up 23%. Your BHI is up 38%. Your Apple APL is up 13%. Is not the Apple of the US. It's Apple APL. Then your PHA is 84 cents. Yeah, steady lang eh. So 10, 12%. These are considered your third liners or your penny stock names in the Philippines. And then, so it's not really most actively being traded all the time. What else can we see? That would be your top gainers for the day. Let's see your worst losers for the day. Your worst losers for the day, you've got Felix Petroleum down 3%, some mining down 2%, 3%. Not really much action. MY is down 915 to 895. Your SSI is down 170 to 166. But it's not really as big of a down if you will look at it. So lots of people just really profit taking. Let's take a look at the charts. All right, let's go to the charts. Sir Nicolasia has broken 5 so far. Let's take a look at those companies that are interesting. All right, your Nicolasia continues its ascent, but really it's just in that uptrend area. We can't say much except that it is continuing. Any drops near 4.5 or 4.6 will be taken advantage of. What else can we say? All right. So today, AR went up. However, we never cover this. So even if it's up in the last couple of days, we noticed that this might be just a pop. So from 0.01 to 0.03, it can go 0.038, but it's very dangerous. As you could see, there's not much rhyme or reason for the name. What else? What else? Yeah, so APL rose. But the problem with these names is that if you look at the volume traded, it doesn't trade, and then suddenly there's value traded. So we can't really say much about these types of names, even if there's like a backdoor play, etc. What else? So it's the same. Like last couple of days, we saw that Vita was being bought up at 1 peso below. So far, it's still there at 1 peso. Take note what happened. So after a big move, it consolidated. It's still above 1. So you could see that there are people picking it up below 1. And then, of course, some 10-20% range action maybe if it continues further for this resistance at 1.3. I noticed actually that Frutas was able to break that IPO range of about 168. So far, it's now trading at 170. If you notice, the buying opportunity was, of course, 130, 120. So far, buying at these levels is really about overbought already. So the conditions are not as good for the risk reward, for your risk reward. In the index, so we noticed that RHI looks to be in the good risk reward zone. So let's discuss this. Robinsons Retail has done nothing about a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. After moving from about 45 to as high as 70, you could see that it has done nothing but consolidate. Now, we think that this company might actually break that 70 peso zone in the next couple of weeks or months. So we will actually try to see whether Robinsons Retail can be taken advantage of on this smaller drops near 65 to 64 area. So I do think that as this consolidates, of course, not a lot of traders will prefer this because a lot of traders want a short-term gain. However, this might actually present some opportunities within the 65 area. Let's take a look on whether it drops near that level, 65 to 63 area. Let's take a look at these levels. So these areas could be a buying zone for Robinsons Retail. Let's take a look as well on Bloomberry. Okay, Bloomberry is falling down after breaking that 9, after failing to break 9. So we are seeing that Bloomberry has a support actually here at 8. This is an uptrend. This continues to be an uptrend. Casinos as a whole from a sector is actually in an uptrend. Can they actually recover to about 12 pesos? My view is eventually yes. So Bloomberry on dips from about 8 to 750 might actually be taken advantage of here. Take note that we will not be buying too low. So because if you are posting too low, you might not get done. So assuming you bought today at 8.4, you have another buying area at 770. And of course, for those people who've got a lower level, try to just hold on to your winner. So this could actually still rally to about 10, 11, 12. Just hold to your winner. So of course, this is part of your reopening casinos. And of course, we think that, personally, I think that Bloomberry is one of those companies that will actually recover. Not soon, but will. So this breakdown area of $10 is still a resistance. So for those people who are looking for where the targets of Bloomberry will be, well, this will be a really, really strong resistance. So at 10 pesos, this is still a very, very strong resistance. So I guess the people are really looking to see which are opportunities that remain in the market. Very few right now, but if you get to enter this at 8, then you can sell it at 10. Your risk is, I think, very low if it goes to 7. So still a good risk-reward ratio for Bloomberry. Let's take a look at some companies that are second liners in nature. DNL continues at 7. Can it go to 9 or 10 or 11? Let's take a look at that. Your DNL is trading today at 7.37. You could see that from a technical standpoint only, there's a very, very strong resistance here at about 9.95 to 9.5. So far, we are actually just able to recover from the low of 4 to back to 6 and 7. I do think that this laggard can actually go up to 9 and 10. So this is part of potential companies to actually take a look at. Any drops near 675 and 737 is actually a position to take advantage of. I'm just gonna write it down from a charting perspective. Gonna put a DNL 737 all the way to 675 is an attractive entry opportunity. And then yes, your RHI near 65 to 60. And then, of course, your Bloomberry trading at 8.4 today, all the way to 770. So 10% downside possible. It can fall 10%, but also even with that 10% pullback possibility, looks like the upside is higher in the next year or so. So 20 to 30% higher next year. So far, our laggards have done well. Take note what happened here. Robinson's Land today is trading at about near 20 pesos. Your Shell Philippines is now trading at 23 pesos as well. While it's loading, just wait it out. Still loading. Wait up. Still loading. Yeah, there. So we've got the Robinson's Land. We have opined that actually during the MSCI rebalancing, that there was an opportunity to pick up some Robinson's Land here at a very low price of about 14, 15 areas. So let's assume you've bought even as high as 16. Yes, at 16, you still made good money because it's now trading at 20 bucks. However, I think it can still rally to 21 or 22. So any dips near 18 would still be taken advantage of by people who don't have Robinson's Land. Uptrend still remains. Can it go 25, 28? Well, we won't know that. But for now, I think, yeah. So as long as the trend is your friend, indeed, this can still go higher. First resistance at 21.80. Some people might actually take profits at 20, then 22, then 24. That said, even if there are that take profit sellers, do note that there are a lot of buyers below 18. Looks like there's a very, very strong support, 18, 16, and definitely 14. Okay, let's take a look what else. Yeah, so the laggards have been rallying. Take note that TMW is now trading at 7 bucks. We have been opining that the market will actually voyeur from leaders to laggards because your AGIs, AGI was a laggard that already led. However, and that's what happened with your GT Cap and DMC. So we are confirmed that correct already. Your Ayala Land and your SM Prime were your leaders, and actually it triggered the rotation to your value plays, other properties that had some value to be picked up on. And DMW fit that thesis. So DMW was able to buy 550, 6 bucks. Yeah. So even if you bought at 6, it's now trading at 695. Do think that this one has resistances at the following levels. You've got resistance at 8, you've got resistance at 9. So a lot of people are actually willing to wait it out because even if they wait it out, if waiting will enable them to get a 50% return, they can wait it out. So I think like most people are just waiting. Why is there two of me? Yeah. All right, guys. I'll take a look at your questions first. Okay. Let's see. Good afternoon. The U.S. elections has affected stocks like green energy surge when Biden seems winner. But what if things got overturned? Are there industries or stocks that will rise with Trump winning? So, about the election results, like Texas trying to overturn the results, I don't think that it will actually happen. It will trigger an opportunity, in my view, to the solar companies. So all the green energy have risen about 200, 300, 400%, sometimes 1,000%, depending how early you were. I don't think that it's actually, so even if Trump was the winner, the truth is you couldn't actually affect things because the world isn't going to go fossil fuel anymore. Meaning, Biden winning was only a catalyst to continue further the green and it's not really green energy, call it clean energy, renewable energy, right? So renewable energy is a trend that's not related to US elections. So since 2018, since 2010, a lot of companies have been really pursuing this 2030 target. China was involved in really it's not just China. I'd say UK, Canada, almost all countries. We do need a clean energy. It has nothing to do with elections, in my view. That said, if there are knee-jerk reactions to a sell-off on solar companies, I think that the opportunity is actually to buy these companies because it's not about Trump winning. Even if Trump won, was investing in ExxonMobil, for instance, a profitable move for you? I don't think so. So if you had invested in the last 10 years in electric vehicles, then you'd have made $18,000 to $3 million in Tesla alone. And I think like what's happening is last night, what was happening, well, this isn't really Philippine market, but the question is to global setting. So I'm going to answer that in a global setting. What happened recently was Tesla had a sell-off because Tesla was selling billions of shares. Similarly, C Limited found that their share prices were 400% up for the year. It was ripe for some profit taking. So $5 billion there, $2 billion there. Xpeng sold I think something like $2 billion war chest. So you are seeing that there is a profit taking going on, primarily because a lot of stocks have risen 300, 400%. That is something that I will discuss on the global market update. So because the question is actually global in nature, you should listen to my global market update later on. All right. Hi, Megawide, CHP, please. Thanks. So I like the problem with the Philippines really is that most of the stocks here don't have a catalyst in a long-term trend. So they're just like reopening themes. It's very limited upside. Megawide construction, all we can see is that yes, you've got support here at 880 all the way to $8, 8 pesos. And what I can see here in Megawide is that you have resistance primarily at 10, 12, 14. Yeah, very, very strong resistance at 14. So very strong support at 7, but very strong resistance at 14. At $9, you're closer to 7, so you still have that leeway for it to go higher. But it might take time. All of these rewards in the Philippines will take time, not like in a day, not even in a year. CHP, all right, 167. You've got resistance at 3. What you'll notice is that this company is in a downtrend. Perhaps the downtrend is the reason why people don't want to touch it. Unless there is a real catalyst for CHP, I don't think that this is a company that I would pick up. I'm not so sure the reasons why people are picking this up. Even if they are picking it up, 170, it's going what? $2, $3. I don't know the fundamental catalyst for it to go 50% higher next year. Okay, hi Nikki, what do you think of Frutas? Very much NCs are accumulating. Technicals are okay. My bias is that it will continue to go up. Do you see it as a growing company play? Frutas, in my view, is trying its best from a secular standpoint to do a lot of takeout delivery. It's called the direct-to-consumer secular trend. For the direct-to-consumer secular trend, the best picks have always been companies that can actually from COVID pandemic scenario. You'll notice that in the US, the best D2C plays have been your Chipotle, have been your companies that were able, like Domino's Pizza, for instance. Frutas wants to do that because in order for them to actually reverse their fortune, they have to realize that rental expense is not gonna matter in the next 5 to 10 years. What's gonna matter is, yes, there's foot traffic there. If they're gonna rely so much on foot traffic, they're gonna lose in the next 10 years. What the market loves, at least what I can tell you is worldwide, what the market loves to pay a premium for are direct-to-consumer trends, whether you're a Starbucks or whether you're a Frutas. I'll show to you that what happened is that every time management discussion and analysis was all about direct-to-consumer and digital transformation of the business, it can go higher and higher. These are actually all-time high moves. These are not reversal moves, meaning they've reversed and they went all-time high. For Frutas to go all-time high, it has to prove, in my view, that it really can handle a business with just direct-to-consumer. If it can grow 500% their revenues in doing direct-to-consumer and not opening too many stores anymore, I think that the market will like them. But if they will have so many stores going forward, I think some people will not like them. So I think that the company is still too early to say. I wouldn't know if it's going to do well or it's not going to do well. I need to see the management executing very well in the delivery market. So I think that the world is really in the delivery market. You've got ride-hailing, food delivery services all throughout. And in my view, in terms of that direct-to-consumer delivery play, I think that Jollibee did the right thing. The multi-delivery options, the way that it's really transitioning itself from not just relying too much on dine-in experience, but really on a long-term path is something that I am I would say that I am more bullish on Jollibee rather than Frutas. So the question is Jollibee going to hit 320 pesos or 350 pesos? Can Jollibee go all-time highs? Give me about 5 years. I think the answer is yes. I think that Jollibee has learned a lot during the last couple of years, not just during COVID pandemic. about how tricky food acquisitions are and how difficult it is to actually rely too much on just domestic dine-in experience, especially when you have been ramping up your acquisitions. So from a restaurant retail standpoint, Jollibee would be the best pick there, not Frutas. All right. There's a question, SSI, OLHC, and Green, please. SSI is the same thing. SSI is e-commerce and direct-to-consumer. Among those three names, when it comes to secular trend, I think SSI has the best potential there. Because currently the market is not really pricing in SSI to actually win. Actually, there was a question a while ago. CHP 1066, SSI 166. Let's make a bet. Who's gonna go $3? SSI to 3 or CHP to 3? I'm not sure who wins, but I think that the winner there is that SSI is the one that goes to $3. Same thing, 11 to 1. Who has a better defense mechanism in the next 5 to 10 years? We're not talking about the next 5 months. In the next 5 to 10 years, yes, construction will ramp up. So therefore, that will be positive for your megawatt and your construction. But in my view, I also think in the next 5 years, the company that can transition from a retail store to actually e-commerce and direct-to-consumer, yes, you've got brick and mortar still remaining there. It's called the online merge offline trend. You have to merge. It's called omnichannel. You have to do omni-channel. And I think that the company that can do omni-channel would be SSI. Would be, yes, if Frutas can finally really do an omni-channel approach, and I think they really are doing that. So I'm not bearish, but I'm also looking for more execution on their part. If I can see that they can execute, then the answer would be yes. It's gonna go all-time highs. If they can execute, it's a big if. All right, all HC and Green. All HC is more in logistics, right? So this is a complement of your e-commerce trends. I don't know much about whether they really are profitable in revenue-wise. I mean, I've seen a little bit, but it's not like it doesn't inspire me to be confident that it will continue growing. I'm not quite sure. It can go up. Technical standpoint, yes, 3 to 350, 360. Fundamentals-wise, I'm not quite sure. Greenergy, also I'm not sure. Green, I think, has done I think they wanted to introduce cannabis. Yes, I'm bullish on cannabis, but I'm not quite sure on the Philippine market because I think it's illegal here. We're not legalizing it. So from a cannabis standpoint, it's not the Philippines. Cannabis standpoint is about Canada, legalization in Canada and legalization in the US. And because 10x opportunities reside in the US when it comes to green, as an agriculture-related place, and farming-related or indoor farming, it wouldn't be the Philippines that I would choose. So I think this is just technical. I don't know much about it. All right, I'm gonna check more questions. Morning, Miss Awesome. Hi, Miss Ling. Yes, good morning to you too. Let's see. BHI, please, Miss Nikki. All right, I don't know much about BHI. So usually, guys, when I know nothing, I can just only opine on the chart. I wouldn't know much about what's happening in the company. What have they done? GSMI po, is it still a good time to buy APL, Double Dragon? What do you think about your MRC disclosures? Teka lang guys, you got a lot of questions. Let's answer it one by one. Teka. FNI will, I'll answer it comment by comment. And it's still loading anyway. So, bagal naman. Bagal. It's not loading. Anyway. All right. Okay, BHI went up. The thing about these names is that, let me just explain to you. Usually, turn off ako if it's 10-year downtrend. It means that nobody really made money in it. Yes, there's spikes every now and then. Example, BHI goes from about 4 cents to goes 13 cents, falls down today to about 2 cents. So I'm not really there much for watching the stock like a hawk. So because that is my template, I really don't like investing. I don't like to trade this. So I just want to invest. So because of that nature, why would I want to invest my money in a company that would lose me 90%? Look at what happened to BHI. From about 50 cents, now it's about 5 centavos. It hasn't even gone 5 centavos. If I put my money here, it means that my 50,000 pesos is 5,000 pesos. Do I want to lose 95% of my money? No. So things like these, I call these one-night stands. One-night stands, play around with them, fool around with them. They're prostitutes. They're not for marriage material. What else? SSI only because I think there's a fundamental transformation play. Costco, yes, there's value, and the company like Pure Gold is a profitable company. However, I'm not sure if people really will play this as a value play. Valuation wise, I'd argue the answer is yes, it has value. But technicals wise, you've got a lot of resistance and you don't have a lot of buyers and sellers. So Costco at 750, you've got a seller, 550, you've got a buyer. It doesn't register too much on the value traded. So the problem there is you may be the only one buying Costco and there's not a lot of people buying it. Is there really no hope for Costco? Probably not true, because as long as it makes money, it gives you dividends. I can't remember how much. I think Costco gives something like 2 to 3% dividends. But because the share price has fallen, maybe it's now 5% dividend. So you can actually watch Costco and learn more about it. I think that this one is a company that's worth taking a look and reading at. FNI, it's just gonna follow like Nicolasia. Semerara, coal is just a reopening play, but actually long-term wise, I don't think it's a good place to be. What is a sample of secular growth stock in the Philippines? Is ASEAN a candidate? Yeah. ASEAN and nickel are secular candidates. We said that actually even before they rose 300%. So when it's a secular candidate, these are companies that you don't really have a real sell call. Because if it's going to grow 10 years from now, then those are companies that you want to hold and marry. So those are the rare ones that we actually have in the Philippines. ASEAN is one of them because of renewable solar farm play. Wind farms and solar farms. I do agree that clean energy as a whole, worldwide, is in a 10x move. It just so happens that ASEAN is in the Philippines, trying to do it in Southeast Asia. So the answer is a yes. But should you buy it at 630? I'm not sure. It can go 6 pesos, can go $5, it can go 7. Things like these can consolidate and just sleep on the next 3 to 6 months. Can even go share offering like what Tesla's doing abroad, like what C Limited's doing abroad. After a 400% rise, I'm not sure if it will go 200%. I'm not sure if it will go further. Is PLC and SSI a hold? I think yes. The answer would be a yes, because PLC would follow Bloomberry and SSI will follow things that's happening retail-wise. Hi, Philippines. Hi, Nikki. Hello. All right. So I think like I'm a little bit late already. I need to go to my global market updates. I think like let's just go again tomorrow. There's a question. What do you think about MRC's disclosure related to cybersecurity? Cybersecurity. I didn't read the disclosure yet, but. So here's the thing. Cybersecurity is important, but I wouldn't just buy any company. Like example, any company wants to go fintech. It's not that I don't believe in that company. It's just that there's so many potential competitors. Cybersecurity I have in my portfolio. I have CrowdStrike in my portfolio. The best when it comes to cybersecurity. So these companies are worldwide. I can actually use CrowdStrike even if I'm in the Philippines. So the reason why a lot of companies, especially enterprise ERP, enterprise resource planning, enterprise companies, softwares, SaaS companies in general, software as a service, you don't need to be in the Philippines to actually serve the Philippines. You don't need to be here. So when it comes to cybersecurity, they can dominate the world. So it's not geographical. It has nothing to do with that. Netflix invaded the entire world, even if it was in the US. So when it comes to software names, if you're not the leader, if you're not the best, I'd say forget about it. I'll just invest abroad.